A panoramic view reveals Coketown, a landscape of industry and despair under a smoke-choked sky. Chimneys relentlessly spew smoke, casting the sky in a perpetual, suffocating haze. Buildings stand rigid and uniform, their monotonous design reflecting the oppressive atmosphere. The color palette is muted, dominated by grays that accentuate the bleakness of the scene. Coketown breathes heavily, its smoke-filled lungs a testament to relentless industrial might. In a stark schoolroom, Thomas Gradgrind dominates, his stern presence filling the space with rigid authority. Rows of desks line the room, each a testament to uniformity and order. Gradgrind's gaze sweeps over the children, a silent demand for absolute adherence to facts. Mathematical equations cover the blackboard, symbols of the cold, hard logic he espouses. The room's bare walls amplify the feeling of utilitarian austerity, devoid of warmth or imagination. Each child sits rigidly, absorbing Gradgrind's teachings in the severe, joyless atmosphere. Rigid rows of children fill the stark schoolroom, their faces masks of blank expectation. A stern figure dominates the room. Gradgrind stands tall, an imposing statue of authority. Gradgrind's voice booms, echoing through the silent classroom. Now, what I want is facts. His eyes scan the rows, demanding obedience and adherence to his rigid doctrine. Teach these boys and girls nothing but facts, Gradgrind declares, his words like stone tablets. Facts alone are wanted in life, he concludes, sealing the fate of young minds in the pursuit of cold, hard data. Sunlight fills the schoolroom as Gradgrind stands before Sissy Jupe, her nervous fidgeting a stark contrast to his rigid stance. Gradgrind's piercing gaze intensifies as he questions Sissy. So, Jupe, tell me about your father. What does he do? Sissy's voice trembles as she reveals. He works in the circus, sir. Gradgrind demands. The circus? Facts. Stories. I have no time for fanciful stories, girl, Gradgrind declares, his impatience palpable. Only facts are of use. Sunlight floods the classroom, illuminating dust motes as a stern Gradgrind surveys his attentive students. The air is thick with anticipation, every eye fixed on Gradgrind, awaiting his command. His gaze pierces the silence, demanding absolute order and unwavering attention. Gradgrind's voice cuts through the room, a challenge hanging in the air. Define a horse, he commands. Give me strict facts regarding a horse. Josiah Bounderby, a figure of robust self-satisfaction, dominates his opulent drawing room with a sweeping gesture. Bounderby struts, chest puffed, a smirk playing on his lips as he addresses his captive audience. I wasn't coddled, oh no, Bounderby booms, his voice echoing through the lavishly adorned space. His eyes gleam with pride as he proclaims, I fought my way up from the gutter. Bounderby's triumphant declaration hangs in the air. No silver spoon for Josiah Bounderby, I can assure you. In Coketown, Josiah Bounderby stands, a figure of stern authority, addressing an unseen crowd with an air of unshakable self-regard. His weathered face and gleaming eyes speak of battles fought and victories claimed, each gesture amplified by his commanding presence. Bounderby's chest swells as he proclaims, his voice resonating with proud defiance. I am Josiah Bounderby of Coketown. He emphasizes his self-made status, his words cutting through the air with sharp conviction and absolute certainty. With forceful emphasis, he declares, I have fought my way up from nothing. Nothing, I tell you. Bounderby's words hang heavy in the air, a testament to his iron will and relentless ambition. The vibrant lights of Sleary's circus cut through the night, a stark contrast to the subdued town. Inside the circus tent, color explodes in a dazzling display of costumes and artistry. Sissy Jupe commands the center ring, atop a magnificent horse, her movements fluid. With each graceful leap and turn, Sissy's natural talent shines, captivating the audience. The circus becomes a haven of beauty and joy, a world apart from Coketown's gloom. In the dimly lit room, Louisa and Tom sit like statues, their faces masks of suppressed emotion. The air hangs heavy, thick with the weight of unspoken words and stifled feelings. Gradgrind's voice cuts through the silence, a hammer blow of cold, hard reason. In this house, we deal with facts. Nothing but facts, he declares, his gaze unwavering. His words hang in the air, a stark warning against the dangers of dreams and fancy. Imagination is a dangerous distraction, Gradgrind states, crushing any hope of joy. A stern man stands tall, casting a long shadow in the stark, cold room, his presence dominating the space. His eyes, sharp and piercing, reflect a rigid adherence to logic, betraying no hint of warmth or compassion. The atmosphere is devoid of any comfort, mirroring the man's unyielding and emotionless demeanor. Emotion is a weakness, Gradgrind declares, his voice cutting through the silence. Reason is the only path to success. Stephen Blackpool walks the bleak Coketown streets, his steps heavy with the weight of poverty and injustice. The oppressive atmosphere of the industrial town hangs around him like a shroud. Each breath seems to carry the grime and despair of the factory. His weary face, etched with hardship, reflects years of unrelenting struggle. His somber eyes mirror the hopelessness he sees in every corner of Coketown. He trudges on, a solitary figure against the backdrop of towering factories and endless streets. The factory air throbs with a deafening roar, a mechanical tempest that assaults the senses. Oppressive heat smothers the scene, thick with the stench of oil, sweat, and relentless toil. Workers, gaunt and grimy, move with haunting precision, their bodies bent in submission. Exhaustion etches deep lines into their faces, a silent testament to the factory's brutal demands. Stephen Blackpool sits in shadows, his meager room illuminated by a solitary candle. Worn furniture and bare walls emphasize his solitude and the weight of his circumstances. His face, etched with worry, reflects in the flickering candlelight, a silent plea for hope. He yearns for a better life, trapped by a fate that conspires against his dreams. In Coketown, Mrs. Sparsit stands like a sentinel, a rigid figure near Bounderby's factory, her eyes sharp with suspicion. Her gaze is fixed intently on Louisa, a silent assessment passing between them, charged with unspoken tension. Louisa unknowingly becomes the focal point of Mrs. Sparsit's growing unease, a perceived threat to her domain. Ambition and insecurity intertwine in Mrs. Sparsit's eyes, a dark reflection of her inner turmoil. A silent plot begins to weave itself in her mind, fueled by a desire to protect her carefully constructed world. The factory looms behind them, a stark backdrop to the brewing conflict, the air thick with unspoken rivalry. Bounderby's imposing desk dominates the room, a symbol of his unyielding power. Bounderby sits, stern and unsympathetic, a fortress of cold authority. Stephen Blackpool stands before him, his weary posture a stark contrast to Bounderby's arrogance. Bounderby gestures dismissively, his contempt cutting through the heavy silence. Bounderby's office is stark and cold, a monument to industry. Papers teeter precariously on his desk. Bounderby sits, a colossus of impatience, his presence dominating the room. His gaze sweeps over the room, a storm brewing behind his eyes. He slams a fist on the desk, the sound echoing his inflexible will. "I have no time for personal problems," Bounderby booms, his voice a hammer blow. Work is all that matters. Dim light casts long shadows in Gradgrind's austere home as he sits stiffly, determination etched on his face. Louisa stands before him, her expression veiled in shadow, a silent question hanging in the air. "Louisa, I have considered your future," Gradgrind declares, his voice firm, unyielding. A beat of silence as Gradgrind reveals his plan. Bounderby has offered his hand in marriage. Louisa's hesitant reply, hesitantly, "Bounderby?" reveals a flicker of surprise in the dim light. "If it is your wish, father, I will agree," Louisa responds, her voice barely a whisper in the shadowed room. An oppressive silence fills the unknown space, heavy with unspoken sorrow. The air is thick with unspoken expectations, hanging like a shroud. Louisa stands resolute, her face a mask of quiet determination. Her words echo in the stillness. "If it is your wish, father, I will marry him." A silent promise hangs in the air, sealing her fate with a somber vow. In Coketown, a wedding unfolds, heavy with unspoken sadness. Louisa and Bounderby stand together, their union a spectacle of forced happiness. The townspeople gather, their faces etched with curiosity and veiled pity. A somber procession moves through the streets, devoid of genuine joy. The air hangs thick with unspoken doubts as the ceremony proceeds. Louisa sits alone in her opulent home, The sterile decor amplifies the emptiness, a gilded cage of her own making. Expensive furnishings surround her, each piece a symbol of a life unlived and a heart untouched. Silence presses in, heavy and suffocating, a constant reminder of her isolation. Her face is etched with a quiet despair, a silent scream trapped behind a mask of composure. She seems lost, adrift in a sea of wealth, longing for something more than what she has. The room itself feels like a reflection of her soul, beautiful, yet cold and utterly barren. Sunlight pierces the grimy windows of Bounderby's factory, revealing dust motes suspended in the heavy air. Stephen Blackpool stands defiant before Mr. Bounderby, his face a mask of weary determination. Bounderby's dismissive gesture seals Stephen's fate, casting a shadow over his already burdened shoulders. Stephen walks through the factory, the workers averting their eyes, their silence a heavy condemnation. The factory's roaring machinery mocks Stephen's plight, amplifying his isolation and despair. Outside, the cobbled streets offer no solace, only a stark reminder of Stephen's uncertain future. Under a bleak Coketown sky, Stephen Blackpool trudges down dimly lit streets. His weary eyes search each shadowed doorway for a glimmer of hope. He is met only with closed doors and scornful glances that sting like salt. Stephen's shoulders slump as the cobblestones echo his fading dreams. Each step diminishes his hope in Coketown's unforgiving embrace. Dim candlelight flickers, casting long, dancing shadows across the humble lodgings. Sissy Jupe's presence offers a tender light in Stephen Blackpool's bleak room. Her hand rests gently on his arm, a silent promise of solace and warmth. The meager furnishings are swallowed by darkness, save for the candle's glow, a poignant tableau of quiet companionship amidst hardship. A dimly lit room, shrouded in shadows and mystery. The sparse details hint at uncertainty and transition. The air hangs heavy with unspoken anxieties, each corner whispering secrets in the half-light. Sissy steps forward, her voice a beacon of hope in the oppressive gloom. "Do not despair, Mr. Blackpool. There is still hope," she declares, her words challenging the suffocating despair that fills the room. James Harthouse enters Bounderby's austere home, his eyes scanning the room with calculated charm. The air is thick with industry as Harthouse's gaze fixes on Louisa, a subtle smile forming. He strides confidently, the scent of ambition heavy in the air, ready to begin his courtship. His manipulative nature is subtly revealed as he prepares to charm Louisa. Sunlight floods Harthouse, illuminating swirling dust. Mrs. Bounderby commands attention. Mrs. Bounderby stands tall, her elegance a stark contrast to the dust. The light catches the subtle details of her refined dress. Harthouse observes her with undisguised admiration. "Mrs. Bounderby, your intelligence and beauty are captivating," he declares. His words hang in the air, a bold declaration of his feelings. Dim light stretches shadows across the room as Harthouse leans in, amusement dancing in his eyes. Louisa meets his gaze, a flicker of curiosity, battling with an underlying tension. Candlelight flickers, casting an eerie glow on their faces as the unspoken hangs heavy in the air. The silence stretches, broken only by the crackling fire, as they engage in their silent dance. Louisa is intrigued by his attention but also wary of his intentions. Sunlight floods Bounderby's office, illuminating dust and shadows as Tom Gradgrind nervously shuffles papers. His brow is furrowed, hands trembling as he confronts the stark reality of his spiraling gambling debts. He subtly manipulates bank documents, a desperate attempt to conceal the growing financial abyss. A furtive glance towards the door betrays his mounting anxiety and fear of discovery. Stephen Blackpool, a solitary figure, walks away from Coketown, swallowed by the night's darkness. His silhouette is stark against the faint glow of distant factories, a small bag slung over his shoulder. Each step is determined, fueled by the promise of finding work and clearing his sullied name. A silent vow echoes in his heart, to one day return to Rachel, his true love and guiding star. The road ahead is uncertain, yet his resolve burns bright against the industrial gloom of Coketown. Mrs. Sparsit lurks behind a heavy curtain, her predatory gaze fixed on Harthouse and Louisa across the room. Her eyes gleam as she observes Harthouse's subtle advances, anticipation tightening her lips. Feverishly, she scribbles notes, documenting every gesture and glance with triumphant zeal. A smirk plays on her lips as she gathers her notes, heading towards Bounderby's office. Bounderby's fury fills the room, his face a rigid mask behind the imposing desk. Louisa stands defiant, her expression unreadable as Bounderby explodes. "So, it's true then?" Louisa's quiet defiance hangs in the air. "What if it is?" Bounderby's face contorts with rage. "What if it is? This is a disgrace." Louisa's words cut through his anger. "Perhaps if you paid more attention." "It's a promise. I'll divorce you," Bounderby declares, sealing Louisa's fate with venomous certainty. In his office, Bounderby, stout and red-faced, explodes in fury, slamming his fist on the mahogany desk. Papers scatter like leaves in a storm as Bounderby's rage fills the room. His features twist into a mask of fury, eyes bulging as he prepares to unleash his wrath. "I will not be made a fool of," Bounderby bellows, his voice shaking with anger. The air crackles with tension as Bounderby's fury dominates the office. "Your behavior is scandalous," he roars, the words like thunder. A sparsely furnished room glows under a single lamp where Louisa stands, her pallor stark against the dim light. Her posture speaks of deep weariness as she faces Gradgrind, the silence heavy with unspoken truths. Her voice, barely a whisper, cuts through the stillness. "I am not happy, Father." Louisa's eyes reflect a lifetime of suppressed emotions, now surfacing in a torrent of despair. With rising anguish, she accuses, "You are the reason. You taught me to suppress my feelings." Her voice cracks as she confesses, "You are the reason I entered into this loveless marriage." In an unknown location, Louisa stands, her face pale, her eyes reflecting a profound emptiness. The air is thick with unspoken words, amplifying the weight of her silence and accusation. Louisa's voice cuts through the stillness, directed at her unseen father. Her words echo in the void. "You have robbed me of my emotions, Father." A stark declaration hangs in the air, revealing a deep, irreparable wound. Louisa's final, haunting admission. "I am empty inside." Gradgrind stands frozen, a mask of disbelief etched on his face as Louisa's words hang heavy in the air. A flicker of doubt, a foreign sensation, crosses his eyes, disrupting the well-ordered landscape of his mind. He begins to question the very foundation of his beliefs, the rigid principles he has always upheld. The chilling consequences of his unwavering commitment to facts dawn, shaking him to his core. Sunlight floods Gradgrind's book-lined office, illuminating dust motes in the air. Gradgrind, a stern man in his late 50s, stands alone, the weight of conviction heavy on his shoulders. His gaze sweeps across the room, a flicker of doubt momentarily softening his harsh features. Years of unwavering belief seem to press down on him, a palpable burden in the silent room. The question hangs in the air, a stark challenge to his life's work. Have I been wrong all these years? The doors of the First National Bank are flung wide open, spewing chaos onto the bustling streets of Coketown. Panic consumes the townspeople, their faces reflecting a mix of fear and simmering anger as they mill about. Accusations ignite the air, the name Stephen Blackpool echoing with growing intensity among the crowd. In the distance, a lone figure walks away, silhouetted against the horizon, as accusing fingers point in pursuit. Under the circus tent's dim gaslight, Sissy Jupe strides forward, a worn book clutched tightly in her hands. The leather-bound book holds secrets etched in ink, a testament to truth and justice. With resolute steps, Sissy enters the center ring, where anticipation hangs thick in the air. She presents the book, its pages whispering forgotten truths into the hushed stillness. The evidence is irrefutable, clearing Stephen Blackpool's name, his innocence echoing. Stephen Blackpool stumbles towards the black mouth of the mine shaft, his figure silhouetted against the night. He loses his footing, plunging into the darkness. The air rushes past him as he falls into the abyss. A deafening echo reverberates through the night, marking his descent into the silent depths. At the mine's bottom, Stephen lies broken and still, swallowed by the shadows. In the mine shaft, dust motes swirl in the lamplight, illuminating Stephen trapped beneath a beam. His face is a mask of pain, yet his eyes hold a serene, faraway look, lost in memories. "Oh, Rachel, my Rachel, will I ever see you again?" His voice echoes in the darkness. He remembers her gentle face, a beacon of hope amid the crushing weight of the mine. V.O. All my life, I wanted only to love you right. But fate had other plans. Inside Gradgrind's dimly lit house, shadows dance wildly as Gradgrind and Louisa rush through the halls. Their faces, etched with worry, betray their desperate race against time. Every step echoes with urgency as they push toward the mine shaft. A shared look of grim resolve passes between them, a silent pact forged in crisis. The dim light distorts their figures, casting them as both saviors and specters in the looming darkness. Torches cast long shadows as townspeople gather around the mine shaft, their faces grim with determination. Ropes tighten, pulleys strain, and shovels dig into the earth as they race against time. Each movement is urgent, each breath heavy with worry for Stephen Blackpool's fate. The air crackles with a desperate hope as they work tirelessly, united in their resolve. Stephen Blackpool, coated in coal dust, is pulled from the collapsed mine, his eyes fluttering open amidst the gloom. He coughs, each breath a painful struggle, as the rescuer supports him through the claustrophobic darkness. The air hangs heavy with the scent of earth and despair, each shuffle echoing the weight of the disaster. Faint light flickers against the tunnel walls, revealing the grim determination on the rescue worker's face. Stephen Blackpool is carefully carried in, his form limp against those who bear him into Sissy Jupe's humble lodgings. The room is dimly lit, shadows playing across the simple furniture, casting long, dancing shapes on the walls. He is gently laid down, his breathing shallow and labored, each breath a struggle against the encroaching darkness. Sissy watches with wide eyes, her small frame tense with worry as she hovers near, a silent guardian. The air hangs heavy with unspoken fears as Stephen's pale face reflects the faint light, a fragile beacon in the gloom. In the dimly lit lodgings, Stephen Blackpool lies pale on his bed, Gradgrind and Louisa watching over him with heavy hearts. Stephen's voice, soft but resolute, fills the quiet room. I forgive all who have wronged me. Let no bitterness remain. Gradgrind, grief-stricken, confesses, Stephen, I believe you. I know now you were innocent. Louisa, her eyes filled with tears, whispers, Oh, Stephen, if only we had understood sooner. Stephen smiles faintly. It is enough that you know now. My heart is at peace. Stephen's eyes close gently as he breathes his last, surrounded by those who finally understand. A somber day breaks over Coketown Cemetery, the air heavy with unspoken grief and quiet respect. Townspeople gather, their faces reflecting the hard lives and the goodness Stephen Blackpool represented. Each mourner carries a weight of loss, a silent tribute to a life honestly lived among them. The cemetery stills as final respects are paid, a community united in their shared sorrow. Sunlight floods Bounderby's office, highlighting the chaos on his mahogany desk and the unspoken tension filling the room. The air crackles with accusations, the truth of Tom's theft a palpable weight on all present. Tom stands pale and sweating, his facade crumbling as he is exposed as a fraud. His carefully constructed lies dissolve, revealing the stark reality of his criminal actions. Shadows stretch across Gradgrind's study, the air heavy with disappointment as he confronts Tom. Gradgrind's voice cracks with disbelief. How could you do this? To me? To your family? Tom mumbles, avoiding his father's gaze. I needed the money. Gradgrind's voice, defeated. My own son. A thief. The words hang in the tense silence. Gradgrind stands like a stone statue, his face a study in disappointment and controlled anger. Tom shuffles, avoiding his father's piercing gaze, the weight of his actions heavy on his young shoulders. The Stark office amplifies the tension between father and son, every object a silent witness. Gradgrind's voice cuts through the silence, a cold accusation. How could you do this, Tom? I raised you to be honest and virtuous. Gradgrind continues, his words echoing with paternal disappointment. Tom Gradgrind sprints through Coketown's streets, desperation twisting his features. He steals a glance behind, panic fueling his flight. Police officers gain ground, their pursuit relentless. Each stride echoes his mounting terror. The looming figures of the law close in, shadows stretching long. Coketown becomes a maze of fear as he desperately seeks escape. Inside the bustling circus tent, a kaleidoscope of colors and sounds overwhelms the senses, a symphony of chaos and anticipation. Amidst the vibrant chaos, Tom Gradgrind, masked as a clown, attempts to vanish into the swirling madness. The air is thick with the mingled scents of sawdust, popcorn, and the electric energy of the expectant crowd. Flashing lights paint the canvas in vibrant hues, casting elongated, distorted shadows that dance with the music. Laughter and excited chatter rise in a crescendo, a wave threatening to expose Tom's hidden unease. He nervously blends with the other performers, a desperate attempt to remain unseen amidst the spectacle. Under the vast circus tent, Sleary's painted smile barely hides his calculating eyes as he faces Tom Gradgrind. The air hangs heavy with sawdust and the ghostly aroma of stale popcorn, remnants of forgotten laughter. Sleary hands Tom a thick envelope, a silent promise sealed within its paper confines. Roustabouts move like shadows, dismantling the spectacle as if erasing a vibrant dream. Sleary's low voice breaks the silence. "This should be enough to get you started in America, Mr. Smith." The envelope changes hands, carrying the weight of a new identity and an uncertain future into the shadows. Under the cloak of night, Tom Gradgrind strides up the gangplank, his silhouette stark against the ship's lights. The ship's horn bellows, a mournful sound that echoes through the docks, signaling departure and finality. He melts into the throng of passengers, a figure consumed by the anonymity of the crowd. With each step, Tom leaves behind his family and his past, embarking on a journey into the unknown. Sunlight floods Bounderby's opulent room, highlighting wealth that belies his humble tales. The air vibrates with unspoken truths, ready to shatter the carefully built illusion. Each expensive furnishing stands as a silent testament to Bounderby's fabricated past. A facade of success begins to crumble, revealing the precarious nature of his lies. The room, once a symbol of triumph, now echoes with the impending collapse of Bounderby's world. Mrs. Sparsit stands rigid, emotions suppressed. The lavish house now mocks her fall. Gathering her few things, the room's silence magnifies her sudden isolation. She walks to the door, shoulders firm, yet a tremor betrays her control. The weight of her dismissal settles, a shroud of lost status and position. A mix of pity and satisfaction washes over me, watching her leave. In Coketown, Bounderby collapses onto the unforgiving cobblestones, his face a mask of silent agony. A small crowd gathers, their faces betraying a mixture of curiosity and cold indifference. The air is thick with factory grime, a stark backdrop to the stark reality of death. He is dead. There is little sympathy visible in the eyes of the Coketown people. In the austere study, a solitary lamp casts long shadows, illuminating Gradgrind, a man burdened by regret, hunched over his desk. Books on logic stand guard, yet his gaze drifts, lost in a sea of memories and unspoken sorrows. The grandfather clock ticks with cold precision, each beat an echo of lost time and missed chances. "I was so blind," Gradgrind laments, his voice heavy with remorse, blinded by facts, logic, and the denial of imagination. "What have I done?" he whispers, the weight of his rigid world crashing down upon him in a wave of dawning understanding. A palpable somberness hangs heavy in the air, the room silent and still. Gradgrind stands, his face etched with a profound, newfound understanding. His eyes reflect a transformation, a hint of vulnerability replacing sternness. A solemn declaration breaks the silence. "I have learned a valuable lesson. Facts are not enough. We must also have heart," Gradgrind admits, his voice resonating with newfound emotion. Time softens Gradgrind's stern face, now lined with warmth. Gradgrind's study transforms, trading cold facts for soft light. Personal items hint at a life beyond rigid calculation. Gradgrind dedicates himself to charitable work, a changed man. Sunlight floods the schoolroom, illuminating the air as Gradgrind stands before his attentive class. Gradgrind gestures passionately, his face glowing as he speaks of feelings and dreams. He emphasizes the power of independent thought, his words hanging in the sunlit air. The children listen intently, their eyes wide with wonder, captivated by Gradgrind's fervor. Sunlight bathes the classroom, motes of dust swirling in golden shafts as anticipation fills the air. Rows of desks sit silent, awaiting the spark of creativity. Gradgrind stands tall, his eyes gleaming with fervent encouragement, a beacon of inspiration. "Let your imagination soar. Let your hearts guide you," Gradgrind exclaims, his voice ringing with passion. Louisa enters her father's house, her weary expression hinting at untold burdens. She pauses, a silhouette against the dim light, her every movement weighed down by unspoken sorrow. Sissy Jupe rushes towards her, her face alight with a relief that cuts through the somber atmosphere. Narrator: Louisa is reunited with Sissy Jupe, who has become like a sister to her. Their embrace is a silent promise of solace, a bond forged in the crucible of shared experiences. Sunlight floods Gradgrind's house, dust motes swirling in golden rays, as Louisa moves with a newfound serenity. Her face, once lined with worry, now radiates contentment, a peaceful transformation evident in her soft gaze. Louisa extends a comforting hand to the less fortunate, her presence a beacon of hope and support. She offers guidance to those seeking solace, her words carefully chosen, imbued with wisdom and empathy. Louisa becomes a champion of kindness, inspiring acts of compassion that ripple throughout the community. The rooms echo with quiet joy as Louisa's life transforms into a testament of grace and generosity. The sky over Coketown brightens, casting off the shadows of industry. Buildings shed their grime, revealing vibrant colors beneath. The streets buzz with renewed energy, a symphony of laughter and chatter. Flowers bloom in unexpected places, a testament to the town's rebirth. The faces of the inhabitants reflect hope, their eyes sparkling with newfound joy. Coketown transforms into a lively haven, a beacon of optimism. Sleary's circus explodes with light, a vibrant rebellion against Coketown's industrial pallor. Waves of laughter surge from the tent, a tangible joy washing over the captivated crowd, a beacon of imagination and freedom. The circus defies the monochrome world. Its colorful spectacle promises an escape from the gloom, a night of pure, unadulterated delight. Amidst Coketown's grim facade, children's laughter pierces the air, their bright faces a stark contrast to the grimy surroundings. Boundless energy fuels their games, a beacon of joy shining in this industrial landscape. Each playful shout and chase underscores the children's innocent resilience against the backdrop of hardship. They represent the future, a promise of a brighter, more joyful world emerging from the shadows. In Gradgrind's warm house, the fire crackles, casting a gentle glow on his serene smile. Gathered around him, family and friends mirror his contentment, their faces bathed in the firelight. The air is thick with tranquility, a sense of belonging enveloping them all. The fire dances, a silent celebration of their shared peace and happiness. In the heart of the home, warmth and affection intertwine, creating a perfect, serene moment. In stark darkness, a lone spotlight pierces through, revealing a figure shrouded in shadow. The air crackles with anticipation as the figure prepares to speak, their presence commanding. Gradgrind's voice echoes through the space, resonating with strength and profound conviction. We must never forget the importance of compassion, imagination, and human connection, Gradgrind says. His words paint a vivid picture of empathy and creativity, challenging the surrounding darkness. These are the things that make life worth living, he concludes, his voice lingering in the air. The sun rises over Coketown, casting a golden glow on the once grim factories. Smoke still rises from the chimneys, a reminder of industry's relentless pulse. But the air feels lighter, carrying whispers of hope and renewal. The buildings stand tall, now painted in hues of optimism. Life stirs in the streets below, a vibrant tapestry of dreams and aspirations. Coketown breathes, a testament to resilience and the promise of a brighter future. Sunlight floods the schoolroom, illuminating dust motes dancing in the air. Gradgrind, silver-haired with age, stands before a class of eager children. His eyes gleam with youthful passion. He gestures animatedly, his movements filled with a contagious enthusiasm. The children gaze up at him, their faces alight with curiosity. A shared moment of learning and inspiration fills the sun-drenched room. Soft light paints the room with shadows as Louisa enters, her footsteps barely disturbing the stillness. She carries a bouquet of freshly picked flowers, their fragrance subtly filling the air. A warm smile brightens Louisa's face as she approaches her father, a silent offering of affection. Years have softened their features, etching lines of shared experience and unspoken stories. A quiet understanding hums between them, a bond deepened by time and gentle affection. Inside his home, Gradgrind's gaze softens as he looks at Louisa, his eyes reflecting a deep affection. A quiet sense of fulfillment washes over Gradgrind as he observes Louisa. He sees genuine happiness radiating from her, a stark contrast to the rigid expectations of the past. His pride is evident, a silent acknowledgement of her strength and independence. The weight of his past decisions seems to lift as he witnesses her contentment. In this moment, Gradgrind finds solace in Louisa's happiness, a testament to her resilience. Coketown Square bursts into life as the annual festival begins, vibrant banners fluttering in the lively breeze. A local band sets the stage with upbeat music, drawing couples to dance and laugh in joyful abandon. Children dash through the crowd, their painted faces shining with glee under the festive sun. The air is thick with tempting aromas as food stalls line the streets, promising a feast for every palate. A swirl of colors and sounds engulfs the senses, creating a tapestry of community and celebration. Joyful shouts and laughter mingle, painting a vivid picture of Coketown at its most vibrant and alive. In Coketown's dusty square, children in vibrant costumes transform the grimness with their playful energy. Sunlight catches their eager faces as they act out a story. Their movements are expressive, filling the square with youthful exuberance and improvised antics. The children's play stands in stark contrast to Coketown's usual atmosphere. Gradgrind watches from the edge, his stern features softening in the glow of their creativity. His eyes glisten with unshed tears, moved by the children's unbridled joy. Under the big top, Sleary's circus bursts into life, a refuge of dazzling light and sound for the weary souls of Coketown. The air vibrates with anticipation, a palpable energy as the spectacle begins. Acrobats defy gravity, soaring through the air with breathtaking grace. Clowns, with painted smiles and mischievous eyes, fill the ring with laughter. The ringmaster, a figure of authority and charm, commands the swirling chaos with a flick of his wrist. The circus, a vibrant beacon, cuts through Coketown's grim reality, offering a glimmer of hope and pure, unadulterated joy. The sun begins its descent, painting the sky above Coketown with hues of gold and amber. A warm glow envelops the town, casting long shadows that dance with the promise of a new dawn. Hope flickers in the eyes of the townsfolk, reflecting the radiant sunset. The air is filled with a sense of optimism, a shared belief in the bright future that awaits. Silhouettes of homes and factories stand against the vibrant sky, symbols of resilience and progress. A collective breath of hope sweeps through Coketown as the sun dips below the horizon. Inside his dimly lit house, Gradgrind closes his eyes, a faint, self-satisfied smile playing on his lips. He basks in the quiet solitude, the weight of his perceived influence settling around him like a comforting cloak. A subtle nod of his head betrays a deep-seated conviction. He believes he has irrevocably shaped the world. The corners of his eyes crinkle with contentment, each line etched with the story of a life devoted to his principles. In the stillness of the night, Gradgrind's delusion of grandeur paints a portrait of serene self-assurance. Bathed in a single spotlight, Gradgrind stands aged, yet a newfound warmth shines in his eyes. He stands at the podium, in a simple hall, a distinguished figure marked by time. His voice resonates with conviction, bearing the weight of experience and regret. Let us all strive to be kinder, more compassionate, and more imaginative, Gradgrind says. Let us create a world where facts and figures are balanced with heart and soul. In the heart of Coketown, grim and gray, a single flower bursts into defiant bloom, a vibrant splash of color against the despair. Its petals unfurl, a beacon of resilience in a world of shadows. The flower stands tall, a fragile testament to the enduring human spirit, a symbol of hope amidst the oppressive surroundings. Its beauty shines, whispering tales of life that dares to thrive even in the darkest corners. Sunlight floods the schoolroom, illuminating dust motes as a young girl gazes up at the severe Thomas Gradgrind, her voice filled with innocence. She asks, "Mr. Gradgrind, what are the stars?" Gradgrind stands tall, his gaze intense as he challenges. "What do you think they are? Imagine them," he continues. "What wonders could they hold? beyond simple measurement and calculation. Dim light casts long shadows across the room as Rachel enters, a basket laden with food in her hands. Stephen sits alone, his face a canvas of worry, the lines etched deep by unseen burdens. A soft, warm glow emanates from Rachel as she approaches, her presence a gentle promise. The air crackles with unspoken affection, the palpable love between them a beacon in the gloom. Their shared gaze speaks volumes, a silent understanding passing between two souls intertwined. In each other's arms, they find solace, their love a refuge from the bleak world outside. Children's laughter pierces the monotonous cityscape, their joyous sounds a stark contrast to the drabness of Coketown. Oblivious to their grim surroundings, the children are lost in a vibrant game of make-believe. Their imaginations transform the bleak streets into a realm of fantastical adventures and boundless possibilities. Each child's face radiates pure joy, their innocence untouched by the harsh realities of Coketown. In their carefree play, they find an escape, creating a vibrant sanctuary amidst the somber landscape. Louisa stands motionless by the window, her figure framed by the opulent yet stifling decor of Bounderby's house. Her gaze drifts into the far distance, a silent yearning etched on her face as she looks past the lavish furnishings. The room is lavish, but a sense of emptiness pervades. Louisa's isolation is palpable. She seems trapped, her spirit yearning for something beyond the confines of her gilded cage. The sunlight illuminates her face, highlighting both her beauty and her profound discontent. Factory workers emerge into the sooty night, their faces bearing the marks of a long day's toil. Laughter pierces the heavy air as workers gather, sharing stories that momentarily eclipse their hardships. Camaraderie shines as a beacon amidst the grime, a bond forged in the fires of relentless labor. An orange glow from the factory casts a melancholic light, painting a vivid picture of resilience and unity. Under the dim circus lights, Sissy Jupe gently guides a hesitant Louisa toward a chestnut mare, her voice a soothing whisper. Louisa, perched atop the horse, struggles to find her balance, her grip tight. Sissy's soft words of encouragement wash over Louisa, easing her fears. A tentative smile begins to form. The mare moves in a slow, steady circle, and Louisa's posture straightens with newfound confidence. Louisa's eyes widen with dawning excitement as she finds her rhythm, embracing the exhilarating freedom of the ride. Gradgrind's stern face cuts through the bustling Coketown, his disapproving eyes surveying the lively scene. Colorful tents and spirited performers fill his vision, a stark contrast to his rigid world. He observes the circus's breathtaking skill, a flicker of surprise in his gaze. The infectious passion of the performers begins to chip away at his stern facade. A subtle shift, amusement and admiration soften the lines of his face. A transformation begins. Firelight dances in Gradgrind's study, casting shadows on the book-lined walls as he settles into a large armchair. His grandchildren, eyes wide with anticipation, nestle at his feet, their faces lit by the warm glow. Gradgrind's stern face softens as he reads, his finger tracing the lines, his voice animated and expressive. He gestures dramatically, bringing the story to life, captivating his young audience with every word. Under the warm sunlight, Coketown transforms as townspeople unite to build a vibrant park, a testament to their collective spirit. Each hammer swing and planted seed echoes with hope as the barren space evolves into a green oasis. Hands work in concert, a symphony of cooperation turning dreams of nature and relaxation into reality. Laughter fills the air, mingling with the scent of fresh earth as the park begins to take shape. The park reflects the town's resilience, a vibrant jewel born from shared effort and community love. Coketown breathes anew, a sanctuary for peace and connection blossoming in the heart of the town. Sunlight floods the schoolroom, illuminating swirling dust motes in golden rays. Mr. Gradgrind stands before his class, a rare and genuine smile gracing his face. His eyes sparkle with an almost childlike enthusiasm, a beacon of encouragement. Today, we celebrate the power of imagination, Gradgrind declares, his voice ringing with passion. He gestures expansively, inviting his students into a world of boundless creativity. Write stories, poems, anything that springs from your creative minds, he urges, his smile radiant. Beneath the vast night sky, Coketown's residents gather around a towering bonfire, their faces illuminated by the dancing flames. Sparks rise, mirroring the hopeful gleam in the eyes of the townsfolk, a community united in celebration. The air is thick with the aroma of roasted food, a feast for the senses accompanying the lively strumming of guitars. Joyous laughter fills the night as neighbors share stories. Children chase fireflies, and a sense of hope permeates the air. Sunlight streams through the window, illuminating Louisa in Gradgrind's house, where dust motes dance in golden rays. Before her, an unfinished painting explodes with vibrant colors, a stark contrast to the room's muted tones. Her brow furrowed in concentration, she dabs crimson onto the canvas, adding depth to the emotional landscape. Each brushstroke is an awakening, color blooming with newfound appreciation for beauty within her soul. The painting isn't just color, it's an outward expression of emotion, a quiet rebellion against the rigid world. In Coketown, children release butterflies, their small hands opening to a world of endless sky. Wings catch the sunlight, painting the air with vibrant colors. A kaleidoscope of delicate wings flutter upwards, a silent promise. Butterflies ascend, a visual ode to transformation. Under the big top, Sleary's circus bursts to life, the air thick with anticipation and dreams. Acrobats soar, clowns jest, and trained animals perform in a vibrant symphony of skill. Every act celebrates imagination, pushing boundaries under the warm glow of the circus lights. The bond between performer and audience deepens, a shared experience of awe and wonder. Spellbound, the audience witnesses the limitless power of human connection and artistry. Dust devils dance through Coketown's grimy streets as Gradgrind walks, a solitary figure against the backdrop of belching smokestacks. Smoke hangs heavy in the air, a perpetual industrial haze that coats everything in a fine layer of soot and despair. He offers a warm smile, his presence a beacon of hope amidst the oppressive landscape. A kind word escapes his lips, momentarily cutting through the clatter and grime of Coketown. Inside Gradgrind's house, night descends, and he stands silhouetted against a large window, a solitary figure lost in thought. Starlight bathes Gradgrind's face, highlighting the deep lines etched by years of unwavering pragmatism and stern discipline. His gaze lifts, drawn skyward to the stars, which twinkle with a distant, ethereal light, inviting reflection and introspection. A subtle shift occurs as Gradgrind's eyes soften, no longer seeing mere celestial bodies, but sensing the profound beauty of the cosmos. In this quiet moment, Gradgrind finds himself unexpectedly captivated by the wonder and mystery that the universe offers. Sunlight washes over Coketown, transforming its once grim facade into a symbol of resilience and rebirth. Ivy climbs the buildings, softening their stark lines, and vibrant window boxes burst with color, adding life to the scene. Laughter echoes through the streets, a joyful counterpoint to the rhythmic clang of machinery. The faces of the workers, once marked by weariness, now radiate hope and compassion. Children's laughter fills the town square as they play, their energy infectious. Coketown thrives, a testament to the enduring spirit of its people. Sunlight floods the austere schoolroom, illuminating rows of attentive children. Mr. Gradgrind, his face an impassive mask, commands the room with a stern gaze. A rare glint sparks in Gradgrind's eyes, hinting at the unconventional. Imagine, he begins, his voice resonating, a land where fancy is not forbidden. His words paint a vivid contrast to the rigid classroom, where dreams take flight and where the heart's desires shape reality. Gradgrind concludes, challenging the norm. In Coketown, houses glow with festive lights against the night, a vibrant spectacle against the dark. Colorful decorations adorn every home, transforming the town into a beacon of celebration. The festive atmosphere pulses through the streets, uniting the townspeople in joyous revelry. A symphony of light and color paints the night sky, a celebration of community and joy. The circus bursts into the sterile hospital room, a riot of vibrant colors and dazzling costumes, momentarily eclipsing the somber atmosphere. A clown juggles glowing balls, their radiant light casting playful shadows on the faces of astonished patients. A magician conjures doves from thin air, their sudden flight a symbol of hope and wonder in the sterile space. An acrobat balances with effortless grace, their captivating movements filling the room with laughter and gasps of delight. In Coketown's park, children gather, their laughter echoing as they prepare the earth for new life. Tiny hands gently place vibrant flowers into the soil, a stark contrast to the town's industrial landscape. The bright colors of the blossoms pop against the drab surroundings, a beacon of hope and beauty. Sunlight bathes the scene, illuminating the children's faces as they nurture their garden. Each flower represents a dream, a splash of color transforming the park into a vibrant sanctuary. The park is reborn, a testament to the children's spirit and the enduring power of nature. In the Spartan room, a lone desk lamp casts a harsh light on Gradgrind's stern face, etched with a rare vulnerability. His pen scratches across the parchment, each stroke a testament to the weight of his thoughts. V.O. My dearest Tom, I find myself compelled to reach out. The narration begins, a somber tone filling the room. The years weigh heavily as Gradgrind admits, V.O. My heart, once hardened, now aches with regret. Confessing his paternal failings, he whispers, V.O. I have failed you, son. Failed to nurture the spark within you. In a final act of remorse, Gradgrind offers, V.O. I offer you now my love and forgiveness. May you find peace. The square of Coketown bursts with life as townspeople prepare for a charity event, their energy palpable under the bright daylight. Tables overflow with homemade goods, a colorful testament to the town's generosity and community spirit. Banners dance in the wind, their vibrant colors adding a festive air to the bustling scene. Laughter echoes through the square as children chase pigeons, their carefree joy a stark contrast to the town's industry. The irresistible aroma of freshly baked bread wafts through the air, a comforting scent that invites all to partake. Every corner of Coketown Square radiates warmth and camaraderie, a celebration of unity and giving. Sunlight floods the austere schoolroom, illuminating dust motes dancing in the air. Gradgrind, a severe figure in his 50s, stands before the class, pointer in hand, a flicker of warmth in his eyes. His stern countenance softens momentarily as he addresses the children. The sparse room echoes with the promise of knowledge, under Gradgrind's watchful gaze. In Coketown, flickering candlelight paints the faces of townspeople, a somber gathering under the cloak of night. A collective mourning hangs heavy, each candle a silent testament to unseen suffering and shared sorrow. Shadows dance with the flames, mirroring the deep emotions etched on every face in the mournful crowd. The air is thick with unspoken grief, the flickering lights casting long, haunting shadows across Coketown. Bathed in soft daylight, Louisa sits poised, a poetry book open in her hands, its pages whispering promises of solace. Her fingers trace the delicate lines of verse, each touch a silent communion with the poet's soul. A subtle softening crosses her features as she immerses herself in the rhythm and rhyme. In the quiet sanctuary of words, she finds a momentary escape from the rigid world outside. In Coketown, children gather, their eyes sparkling with anticipation, armed with brushes and dreams. A symphony of colors erupts as they transform the drab town, each stroke a rebellion against monotony. Laughter echoes through the streets, a vibrant chorus of collaboration and boundless creativity. The town awakens, reborn through the children's art, a testament to imagination's power. Each mural tells a story, a kaleidoscope of hope painted onto the canvas of their world. Sleary's circus bursts with light, yet a somber mood hangs heavy, a stark contrast to the usual jubilance. Banners bearing Stephen Blackpool's name cast long shadows, a silent tribute amidst the spectacle. The vibrant colors of the circus seem muted, overshadowed by an unspoken grief. Mr. Sleary, the ringmaster, his face etched with a rare solemnity, stands center ring. His usual jovial mask is gone, replaced by a profound respect that hushes the crowd. Even the clowns seem subdued, their painted smiles failing to mask the collective sorrow. In Coketown, a solitary figure stands before an unmarked grave, the industrial skyline, a grim backdrop. Gradgrind bows his head, a rare moment of humility softening his stern features. Lost in thought, he lingers by the grave, the silence amplifying the weight of his reflections. The stark contrast between the burial ground's quiet dignity and Coketown's bleakness is palpable. Gradgrind slowly turns and walks away, leaving the unmarked grave behind as he heads back into the city. Moonlight paints the room, casting a serene glow upon Gradgrind as he slumbers in his chair, his face etched with worry. Even in sleep, the weight of his fact-filled world seems to burden him, his brow a canvas of deep furrows. He stirs restlessly, lost in the labyrinth of his dreams, where the strict lines of logic begin to blur. In his subconscious, harsh angles soften into curves, and the rigid gives way to vibrant color. The dream unfolds, revealing a world where numbers dance with the human spirit, entwined in harmonious melody. A realm where the cold precision of fact merges with the warmth of emotion, creating a surreal, beautiful landscape. Bathed in the sun, Coketown transforms, its grimy buildings softened by the warm light. Laughter and conversation fill the air as people stroll, a sense of community reborn in the streets. Faces are open and smiling, reflecting a newfound joy in the heart of the town. Children play freely, their echoing joy, a testament to Coketown's transformation. Sunlight floods the schoolroom, illuminating dust motes as Gradgrind, a stern educator, surveys his eager students. "Tell me, children," Gradgrind asks, his voice firm yet kind, "what do you dream of becoming?" He leans forward, his gaze intense, seeking the spark of ambition in their young eyes. "Strive to make a positive impact," he urges, "to leave it a better place than you found it." In Coketown, townspeople gather, their faces softly lit by the gentle glow of lanterns held in their hands. With hopeful eyes, they release the lanterns into the night sky, each a tiny beacon of dreams taking flight. The lanterns ascend, joining a constellation of wishes against the vast, dark canvas of the night. A silent promise hangs in the air as the town watches their hopes drift towards the heavens. Inside the vibrant circus tent, a kaleidoscope of colors and laughter fills the air. Performers demonstrate juggling techniques, their movements fluid and captivating. Eager children watch, their eyes wide with wonder and excitement. Guidance and encouragement fill the tent as the performers foster the children's budding talents. Coketown bursts with life as a vibrant parade fills the streets, a kaleidoscope of colors against the industrial backdrop. Children in dazzling costumes march with handmade banners, their faces alight with uncontainable joy. Floats crafted with care and imagination roll through the heart of Coketown, symbols of newfound creativity. The air vibrates with joyous music, a symphony of laughter and celebration echoing through the streets. Each step resonates with the town's collective spirit, a testament to the power of imagination and community. The parade becomes a river of dreams flowing through Coketown, washing away the shadows of the past with hope. In the stillness of night, Gradgrind stands silhouetted by the window, faint moonlight painting long shadows across his austere room. From his isolated vantage point, distant sounds of celebration rise from the town below, carrying snippets of laughter and music. A rare smile softens Gradgrind's usually stern features as he gazes upon the festivities, a hint of pride in his eyes. A sense of profound satisfaction washes over him, believing he has contributed to the betterment of the world. The faint moonlight accentuates the lines etched by years of unwavering conviction and determination. He savors the moment, a quiet acknowledgement of his life's work resonating in the silence of the night. Sunlight bathes Coketown in a golden glow, clean streets shimmering and vibrant buildings reaching towards the sky. Laughter echoes through the air as people stroll leisurely, their faces radiant with joy and contentment. Children's gleeful shouts fill the parks, now lush with greenery, a stark contrast to the town's grim past. The air is crisp and clear, carrying the scent of blossoms instead of smoke, a breath of fresh air for Coketown. A palpable sense of well-being permeates every corner, a testament to the thriving spirit of a town reborn. Sunlight floods the schoolroom, illuminating swirling dust motes and eager young faces. Gradgrind stands tall, his commanding presence drawing every eye. His gaze sweeps over the children, a silent challenge in his eyes. "You have the power to change the world," Gradgrind's voice echoes. His words hang in the air, a potent promise of potential. "One act of kindness at a time," he finishes, his gaze unwavering. Under the cloak of night, Coketown streets teem with townsfolk, their forms indistinct in the gloom. Flickering torchlight dances across their faces, a mosaic of shadows painting the scene. Long, distorted shadows stretch and writhe, echoing the unease in the air. The grimy streets reflect the dim light, mirroring the town's weary soul. A banner hangs limp between two buildings, a silent testament to forced gratitude. "Thank you, Gradgrind," it proclaims, a stark contrast to the somber atmosphere. Sunlight paints the study, illuminating towering shelves of books and orderly papers. Gradgrind sits in his leather armchair. Gradgrind, a man defined by determination, gazes around the room, his face etched with the passage of time and the weight of thought. A subtle smile graces his lips, hinting at the satisfaction he finds in his reflections. "I have lived a life of purpose and meaning," Gradgrind says, his voice echoing in the silent room. A panorama of Coketown unfolds, revealing grimy factories and soot-stained buildings under a somber sky. A burst of color interrupts the monochrome as a vibrant rainbow stretches across the horizon. The rainbow's hues cast a hopeful light, painting the bleak industrial landscape with promise. A symbol of the human spirit, the rainbow declares its triumph over the drabness of Coketown.